Hi! I'm back, and today I'm going to be showing you my TBR for the 2021 Asian Readathon. I've never participated in this readathon before. The only actual readathon I've done is Reading Rush last July, and I almost completed all the challenges, so I thought, hey, I should try this one. I already buy a lot of Asian books, like Asian protagonists, Asian authors, so I thought I might as well just use this as an excuse to read all of the Asian books that I have and stop buying more books. Just go to the library. The Asian Readathon was created by With Cindy on YouTube. She used to be Read with Cindy. There's 5 prompts. One is read a book by an Asian author, read a book with an Asian protagonist, read a non-US centric Asian book, read a nonfiction by an Asian author, and read a book by an Asian author in your favorite genre. I went to my shelf right here. I have like 11 unread Asian books, I know. And I just chose the ones that could fit in those prompts, and I'm gonna show you. These are all of the Asian books that I have, and this is my TBR. I'll talk about it. The first book that I have is Like a Love Story by Abdi Nazemian. I believe the author and one of the protagonists, like the main protagonist, is Iranian. So that counts for Asian author and Asian protagonist. And it also counts for read an Asian book in a genre that you like. So this is a queer contemporary-ish, it's set in the 80s, so contemporary. And that's like, I love those books, especially if they're sad and depressing and it's like contemporary, gay, upsetting. Perfect for me. The next book I have is Arsenic and Adobo by Mia P. Manansala. The author and the main character are Filipino, I'm pretty sure. This is a mystery or thriller. It says Arsenic and Adobo. I have no idea. That's not a usual genre that I read. This is a cozy mystery, so it works for those first 2 prompts of Asian author and Asian protagonist. The next book I have is Interior Chinatown by Charles Yu. I'm pretty sure Asian author, Asian protagonist. I think it has something to do with movies, so it's set in Los Angeles, America. So it doesn't count for the non-US centric prompt. This is what I'm gonna read. The next book I have is Patron, Saints of Nothing by Randy Ribai. The author and the protagonist are Filipino. I think this takes place in the Philippines, so I'm going to use that as the non-US centric prompt, but if it doesn't, I have another book. This is a YA contemporary set in the present, I'm pretty sure. I know it's a revenge storyline, I think. The guy on the cover looks very angry. So that's all I know about it. Yeah, and if this isn't set in the Philippines, if it's set in the US and I need a different non-US centric book, I have another one. For another non-US centric book, just in case the last one isn't, I have already read this. This is The Weight of Our Sky by Hannah Alkaf. It's set in Malaysia. The protagonist and the author are both Malaysian. This is a upper middle grade or lower YA. I've read it. I can't really explain. There's like dark themes, like mental health themes, but it's also really light, as in like the characters feel young, even though they are teenagers. I highly recommend this. If you want a really short, middle grade book for your non-US centric prompt, you can read this as well. And the last physical book that I own is Saints and Misfits by S.K. Ali. I looked up the author and she is Indian Canadian, so Indian author. I'm assuming that the protagonist is also Indian, and since like the author is Canadian, this might count as a non-US centric book as well if it's set in Canada. But if it's not, this just counts for the Asian author and Asian protagonist prompt. And also this genre is contemporary YA. I don't think it's queer, but that's another genre that I like. So those are all the physical books that I own. There's also a Asian author nonfiction book prompt, and I don't have any nonfiction books here, so I'm just gonna get it from the library. So I'm reading the graphic novel memoir Almost American Girl by Robin Ha. This is a true story memoir about a Korean girl and her mother who moved to the United States and just what they're doing. It's a graphic novel, so it'll be very short, and hopefully I get through all of these. 7 books that I'm gonna try to read in May. We'll see if I can do it. That's it. Thanks for watching. New video every Wednesday, I promise.